Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Wounds to Wisdom. I am your host, Soylyn, Soylyn, and today's episode is going to be something special, something radiant. If this is your first time tuning in, well, let me tell you, you are in the right place to be inspired, encouraged, and transformed. Today's episode is called Styled by Grace, and we'll be talking about the beauty of accomplishment and elegance of moving through life's transition with grace, of course. From launching businesses to stepping into new roles as a wife and a mother, and learning how to balance it all without losing the joy that makes the journey so beautiful. So let's dive deep into what it means to walk this journey clothed in grace, knowing that every challenge, every victory, every transition is part of God's divine plan for our lives. So let's get into it. You know, as I reflect on my life's journey, I see a pattern that I couldn't quite grasp in the middle of the chaos. But now, looking back, I understand grace is carrying me all along. And not just carrying me, but styling me. Teaching me how to walk through life's highs and lows with elegance, with humility, and with an unshakable sense of purpose. You know, I spoke about launching my business in the last episode. Now, moving to the United States, I got married to a wonderful husband, having a baby boy, and learning how to balance it all. It's been a whirlwind of change. And while each of these accomplishments fills me with joy, there's something deeper that I had to learn along the way. You see, it's easy to get caught up in doing the hustle, the chase for success. I know many of you know what I'm talking about. But I found that without grace, those accomplishments can feel empty, overwhelming, and even exhausting. Grace has taught me that I don't have to strive endlessly. What's meant for me will come in God's perfect timing. And as I transition into a new phase of life, becoming a wife and a mother, I've learned that I had to let go of my need to control everything. My husband knows exactly what I'm talking about. I had to lean into the rhythm of grace. And let me tell you, it's a beautiful rhythm. It's about embracing moments, the messes, the miracles, and knowing that I am worthy of it all. I want you to take a moment to just let that sink in. Tell yourself, I am worthy of it all. And for those who are listening, I hear you. I hear you. If you churchy like me, I hear you. I am worthy of it all. Don't that feel good? Learning how to balance work and life, especially with a baby, it wasn't easy. You know, there were stressful moments when I wondered, how am I going to do this? But grace was my guide, reminding me to slow down, to breathe, and to trust. Trust that God had me, even in my own chaos. There's this beautiful verse in 2 Corinthians 2:12, verse 9, where God says, My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in my weakness. And that became my anthem, friends. I didn't have to be perfect. I just had to be present, and present with God. In those moments of weakness where I felt stretched thin or overwhelmed by the demands of life, I felt God's grace the strongest. His power was working through me even when I thought I couldn't manage it all. I learned that grace wasn't just something I receive. It's something I wore. It became a part of my style. No matter what challenges I faced, I carried myself with grace because I knew God was with me. He was styling me for success, for healing, and for joy. You know the saying, I'm happy I don't look like what I've been through. That's exactly what it is. God is styling me for success, for healing, and for joy. And I want to go into the beauty of transition. Transitioning into a new marriage, having a baby, and moving into new opportunities in life was humbling. I'll be honest. There were times I doubted myself. Could I really balance it all? Again, could I still launch my dreams, maintain my business, and be fully present for my family? But I've learned that grace makes room for joy in every phase of life. Grace makes space for you to grow, evolve, and be radiant even in the midst of change. Through God, all things are possible. I had learned to let go of the idea that I needed to prove myself or earn the blessings in my life, because God's grace already is making way for me. What's for me is for me, okay? There's no need to strive or compete for it, because God had already ordained the path, and my job was simply to walk it. Let me say that again. God had already ordained the path, and my job was simply to walk it. And not just walk it, but also to embrace it. Embrace the joy, embrace the growth, embrace the learning, and yes, even the failures, because they're a part of the journey too. Essentially, to give God all the glory. I want to speak to your heart for a moment. Maybe you're in a place where you're feeling overwhelmed by life's transition, whether it's in your career, your family, or just within yourself. You might be asking, how can I balance it all, Soy? How did you balance it all? How can I find joy in this chaos? I ask myself that all the time. But I want you to know God's grace is sufficient for you. He's not asking you to be perfect. He is asking you to trust Him. He is asking you to wear His grace like it's your favorite outfit every day and in every situation. In Isaiah 40, verse 31 says, "But those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint." I had to learn how to wait on the Lord, to let Him renew my strength when I felt like I was running on empty. When I did, I found that His grace was enough to carry me through every situation, every trial. And the beauty of it all is that you are worthy. Remember I said that above? You are worthy of the blessings, the joy, the accomplishment, the love that comes your way. You don't have to earn it. It's already yours. You are forgiven for the past, healed from the wounds, and you are being guided by grace into the future God has planned for you. So this is your call to action. So as you continue on your own radiant journey, I encourage you to embrace grace as your style. Wear it with confidence, knowing that God's plan for you are good and His grace will never fail you. You've got this. And more importantly, God's got you. I want you to walk around and say it and wear it. God's got you. He's got me. He's definitely got you. If this episode has spoken to your heart, continue to follow me. Share this podcast. Follow me on social media, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. Let's stay connected because I want to hear from you. I want to hear if you have been encouraged so you can encourage me. I want to know about how you're styling your life with grace and walking in your purpose. Thank you so much for tuning in today's episode, Styled by Grace. Remember, no matter what, no matter where you are on your journey, whether you're just starting out or stepping into a new season of life, grace will carry you through. God has already prepared the way. You just need to walk in it. Until then, stay joyful, stay radiant, and always remember, you are styled by grace.